Okay, so it's Michael and Mechanical here today, and what I want to talk about is something that happened yesterday, or in relation to yesterday, to where we've learnt some things. So anyway, to try and go back to the start, my car. I made a phone call about my car to find out, how's things going. They've stopped work on it, okay, because apparently I've got the wrong parts for the engine. And they want to buy a new belt kit and get the correct one because there's something wrong, and they noticed a couple of red flags, but I didn't actually have an idea of what they look like, so they gave me permission to come down, go have a look, but it would have cost me $300 for a new belt kit. I gave them the finished, complete belt kit that was designed for that engine. I took a whole bunch of stuff with me that's in that yellow bag and in this black bag here. I did a whole bunch of checks because, the TPI is wrong on the belt. Well, I checked the injection pump, I checked the crank, I checked everything to see if there's any chance that anything could be off-centered in any way, and everything will be the same between the Pajeros and the Tritons. They also have the same gears, but they have, different teeth shapes and forms and stuff. And the square tooth feels tighter than the round tooth. So, I go down there with my father to go check out what's going on and what's wrong, and I go down there to find out all of the little issues that they're having. We're trying to put the timing together, and part of me thinks, you can't get anyone to do anything right because I don't know, but that's anxiety related, so it's not rational what that meant or what I was thinking, because they were being very nice to me. They didn't know how to do it, so they came to me with, after I called them and asked how things going, they gave me permission to come down there and assess what's going on with this, because they know I know stuff as well. Even my dad does. I go down there and check everything. They're showing me how they know it's the wrong belt. When they showed me, it's like, yeah, I've not seen that with a new belt before, but you're right, it could be the wrong belt, but it shouldn't be. That's the belt they sold for these gear teeth, and I have the Triton at home, has the same gears as this one has. Even though I've changed stuff over, it's got the same gears. So what I had was another belt with me, which was the same exact belt he had in his hand. He checked that against the pulley, and, well, it fitted a lot better, that's for sure. So what he did from there, once he identified, yep, that's the right belt, he went and drew a line on both the belts, and he went around to see if there's any offset on the belts and make sure there's enough teeth, like the teeth are correct and aligned and stuff. Did that, and, well, they're exactly the same belts, so there's no reason why it shouldn't work. Then there was another issue he encountered, to which I reckon someone's modified a part or something, or it's worn out or something. There's this spring. Now, this is meant to be about 53 millimeters if you got a vernier from this edge here to this edge here. It's 53 on the longest side. The spring he had, every time he put it in this position specifically, without trying to push it that way, the spring would just drop straight off, bang. And that was happening to me just now as well, but this bolt has to be in sufficiently or else it tilts, and that tilt gives it enough play that the spring does just drop off. So the spring's either worn out or it's been cut. I've since taken down another spring to leave with them, and they can just swap it out, prevent this from being a problem in the future, essentially. So the original spring off this engine. These parts here, I don't have present for this engine. These are the ones off the Pajero engine, but they are cross-compatible. I just picked them up from over there. So I've got to take them off afterwards and put them back where I got them from. So essentially, he was saying it's the wrong tensioner, it's the wrong belt kit, wrong this, wrong that. But what I managed to verify is that the pulley, the tensioner here, is exactly the same as on the Pajero. I managed to identify that, yes, I think the spring is not the right spring, as in it is the right spring, but it's been modified. It's not perfect, and it wasn't good. So that has been since replaced, and that's about that. Okay. I'm going to walk off to the side because, hello Dad, how you doing? So, going down there, we managed to get the belt on with the really worn out spring, knowing all the little issues that I've had. And the timing belts are now all on correctly. I've now learnt a better way of putting the thing together. They followed my manuals and things are working out. Well, at the moment they're working out until they tell me, oh yeah, they're missing something, or this is wrong, that's wrong. I got to call them Tuesday to find out how things are going. That's when they want me to call them. Although that could be wrong, it could be Tuesday night's better time to call. But yeah, the timing belt wasn't actually an issue, and they didn't have to say, oh yeah, we can buy another belt kit, you can buy it, or we can buy it, doesn't matter. It was like, you know, I know it's the right belt kit, I don't see why anything's really wrong, I don't see what's wrong, so I need to see what's wrong to know what's wrong. The spring seemed modified, gave them a different spring, they can change it out when and if they feel like doing it. And that should improve that for next time. So I haven't done anything seemingly wrong at this point. It seems they weren't sure, and that's what was a good thing, and they just told me that something seemed wrong. But if they went out and bought just a belt kit, it would have cost me more, and it wouldn't have even been worth it. It would have been a waste of money. But anyway, I think that's what I'll call for this video. On the belts and the tension and the spring. Don't modify the spring, guys. Don't ever cut the spring. Make sure it's always about 53mm long, or else it's harder for people to change over the belts in the actual way you're meant to do it. And if you're unsure about something, you know, you can always just check if you got the right belt or not. The procedure is essentially you install the belt anyway, and you turn the motor over 4 to 6 times, apparently. I read 4 in the manual, and the guy said 6. So what happens when you're turning over the motor is if you have the wrong belt, the belt will start, you know, having the teeth in the wrong positions on top of the cam side. You'll notice it on the cam side more than the other side. And what happens is it loses the timing, and our timing changes when it's running. And that's why it's risky to use the wrong belts. But anyway, that's enough for this video. Thank you guys very much. Hope you all can enjoy and appreciate this video. But as I said, the irrational side of me was essentially, you know, I can't get anyone to do their jobs properly. That's irrational. It's not that they didn't do their jobs properly. They didn't. No. If they pulled it apart and they put it back together again, it wouldn't have made sense if they picked the wrong parts. But because I pulled it apart, I put it mostly back together again, and I've given them the finishing touches to finish off. That is where they're like, not sure anymore, because they didn't pull it apart, so they don't know if these are the right parts or not, and they know things have changed, so they're not certain. So anyway, I'll leave things at that. Thank you very much, everyone. I'm Michael Mechanical, signing off.